What? You may end up running
that's right.
it.
No, you write it into... it's a module parameter, so you write it into...
Right, so there is two things. There is Bible, which got scheduled
with
like
yesterday.
Name, and then there's the large print.
Sorry? I don't care about firmware file.
Well, I wanted to go to both, so I'm not sure. Well, I think Launchpad cloning is better, but I'll pop into Bible and just say a few things to them, and then just
VGA-1:edit firmware into there, and it does it because it's now a parameter. Because the beautiful thing about that is it's staying consistent with the kernel command line. If your machine won't actually boot, you can put it in your grub config and it fixes the problem there as well. So that's why they did change it. So it's a module parameter each firmware, but it has a, you can set it for multiple outputs at the same time. Some immensely complicated. But let's just check I haven't got anything else I meant to add. This does sound like something I should be adding regardless.
Incidentally, who here has an generic system?
Huh?
Still running?
No one.
No, yeah.
Which is why we would have fired them.
Which is why the generic
why nothing in
X server X, or which is why the generic Intel DDX SIU has been sitting in proposed for 60 days and is blocking another SIU from hitting proposed.
Well, that's 30 days is greater than 7. Well, I mean, we have a shitload of hardware. If you want about it, we might like install some, use it.
Yeah. Yeah. Like.
Hey, for SRU purposes, do you prefer? Is it better if I have a package with a lot of bugs that I have fixes for? Is it better to do those individually or to roll them together? Like specifically X keyboard config, where the patches are one-liner, simple little things that are going to be very hard for finding someone with a Dutch variant Dvorak keyboard layout.
Well, apart from the original.
So what happens if you? So there are yes and no. What happens if you add lots of things at once? Is you end up with something like where's Nova gone?
It was there.
You end up with Nova. So
where it looks like that.
Yeah, bunch of verified fixes. Whole bunch of unverified bugs, that's not going to go anywhere. That's going to sit in proposed until Aneric reaches end of life.
So, but the issue with doing individual ones
is then you've got a 7-day.
Out.
So you don't want to do individual ones because that's a minimum 7-day latency on each pack.
Well, plus it's 50 megs for every poor fucker that gets one. Who has X installed? No, hang on, that's quite a lot.
And I don't know which one's going to get verified first.
Yeah. The answer is yes at the moment. Yes, you should do both.
So, well, we do like 3 or 4 or 5 patches per...
Like, I guess, so bundle everything that you think will be verified easily together.
Do them first.
And do them first.
And the way we do that is we make a kernel with each fix, put it on the bug and make them verify it. And then we tell them that we're going to roll all the ones that get verified at that stage up together. And we put them all on one upload, and then anything that doesn't get verified in a sensible amount of time gets reverted, and we upload again. Then we get, because everything's now verified, we can release it.
Yeah, the other option would be to do that and just upload everything, and then after.
But only the ones where they've individually already verified, because people come to you and say, you need this fix to make it work. And it works where I've applied it to my kernel, and we apply it to a kernel, and then they never say anything again, and we completely ignore it and let it go invalid. Close itself. Because if they're not willing to verify it with our build, they're never going to verify it with the proposed build, and if they don't do that, we're going to have to back it out. So we try to avoid ever having to back it out. Yeah. But we also, I mean, Colin doesn't like it, but I tell you, first SRU cycle, we said we're going to back your shit out if you don't verify it. Everybody completely ignored us. We backed all the changes out, uploaded it with nothing. And then they went, shit, where's my fix? And we went, you didn't verify it like it said in the bug. And they went, oh crap, put it back in. And we put it back in, and they verified it the next time. They learned really fast that it was going to be really painful for them if they didn't do what you asked. I mean, you're in the same situation. You have the same level of complexity, the same level of terrible impact if you get it wrong. So you shouldn't be releasing anything that's not verified, but you should be quite happy to rip out a few. And we've got agreement from the SRU team that when we re-upload and it's identical apart from some patches written out, they don't whine about us getting those to re-verify the ones that are already verified.
Well, we don't mind about you getting anything verified at all anymore. Like,
less. But we're very hard about making sure there's very little that's not verified.
yeah, which is why we no longer which is why you now drive the entirety of your SIU.
That's probably
Right, but that's because we have our own pages that look exactly like yours,
Yeah.
with red, green, and blue on. And if they don't go, if they stay red, they go. They are gone.
Like we
messing about.
We trust you to do all of your SIU process. We are now merely
And it's completely
we
automated
press the
for
buttons.
this reason. It tells us which patches to back them out, and we pack them out. So that we don't hold up the patches that matter, which are the ones where the people actually have tested them, actually cared enough.
Yes.
And those people deserve, as he was saying in the back, he should get a benefit for doing that. And he does. If he verifies his patch, it doesn't get reverted, and does get released. So they actually get very strong positive feedback to the people who, especially the people who are often the worst, the ones that pay, that sit in other teams and come with fixes and say it's really urgent. You back their shit out, they really get the message really quickly.
We actually do have a lot of, like I said, drive-by.
Here's a fix you must have, and then those people run dead before you. So it doesn't make any difference whether they put it in our kernel or not. There are no Swahili keyboards. So yeah, I think for X you should be more like that, because you have this problem that you're going to have 40 things. 39 of them are going to get verified. You can't hold 39 things
Because
for one person not doing any verification. And yeah, but when it gets to that day, we go through them all, and if we can verify them somehow, because some things are verifiable, we do have the hardware, we'll try, and if we can verify them, then they go green.
It actually makes sense.
And if not, we back them out.
Yeah, what about for X? For X, it's also sometimes you have to upload a whole new version, like new DRM version, new Xbox version.
We don't do that for SIUs.
Because it's too hard.
We would not do we technically could do it if we
Didn't mind the SIU team screaming.
Yeah, if we had the balls. But
I think that's one of the great things about the way it works, is that mostly we self-limit because we're scared already.
Yeah.
I'm not putting that in my kernel, even if you think it's a good idea, because I'm scared.
Yeah, I
It's like the security team, when we were talking earlier, I wanted to interject, I didn't get a chance. Steve not trusting himself actually is a positive thing. That means I can trust Steve because he doesn't trust himself.
Yeah, but
I trust the security team because people don't do security unless they're uber paranoid in the first place. They're not even going to put their own fixes in because they're too scared, let alone other people's fixes.
yeah,
I don't know where this fix came from. I'm not speaking to you anymore. I'm going to close my steel doors and pull down the
For
shutter.
example, I was sending in some silly kernel files and I was like, just verify on the branch is supposed to be in also, and then I had to build a custom kernel and they broke my system because it was IC or something. So, but I still verified that my change on it worked, so the rest wasn't my fault.
Right.
Then I sent it in. And that's the only time I could have signed the offline button, or then just leave it in my page.
What time does this session start?
About to
no,
start.
I think actually.
Is it 5 past or 10 past? I mean, it is 5 past. Didn't help, did it?
It is
No,
0 past.
So we're already 5 minutes late. You've already burned 5 minutes.
No, we haven't heard it. We had a good discussion.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
But we were discussing
this
the last
is
session.
the last session rather than
So whose session is this?
Bryce.
Where are you?
Bryce, where are
It's
you?
just our session now.
Yeah, it's yours now, Bryce, isn't it?
Yeah. So this is everyone's favourite session.
What terrifying crack are you going to put in?
It's very popular.
It's not even the terrifying crack session. This is just the whatever. This is the what major versions of stuff are likely to go in, and is there anything that we need? Is there anything that other people need us to bring it in?
Yeah, probably
Um,
better.
Chase when you need it. Sounds like the sort of thing he should be in.
Maybe.
Where's Chase? Yes, we need Chase.
Where's Chase? Have you set fire to him?
He's marked as participation essential.
Yes. He's essentially participating in some other ring.
Yes. Do we have a Chase on IFC?
No problem. He's here.
He's physically here.
Yeah.
In the building. I've seen him today.
Yes.
He was looking all skinny as normal.
Yes, that's his usual get-up.
He's not connected. Great.
Mm.
Can someone put me on the blue sheet for this session?
On what?
Can someone put me on the blueprint for this session?
Oh, yeah, totally.
Right. Who's taking notes? Am I taking notes?
Yes, please take notes, Andy.
Not that I'll understand any of the words and you'll have to change them all later.
Oh,
Do you remember the first time I did it? You were like, you could see people switching the E's and the G's around, uppercasing some of them and deleting the strange extra letters I was putting in. It was hysterical. Awesome. Somebody said we're going to have an awesome traditional server.
An awesome traditional server. Yeah, that's totally what we're going to have.
A traditional server that's awesome. I'm not that colour, okay? Just in case you were wondering. I'd lost my mind. Let's go.
Right. So, I guess, are there any upcoming developments that anyone's aware of that would drive version that are going to drive version dependencies?
I'm working on something, but it's not really set for anything.
Well, I know Intel's drop is in October, I think.
That'll be handy for our release.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Well, so I'm wondering, like, should we do like a double push where we do like whatever's current right now, push all that in, and then do another push in October with the new Mesa and everything? Or do you want to just wait? The other option would be we could just wait and continue doing QA on the stuff which is in 12.04 and do a lot of SRUing, and then do a bump later
If
on.
you upload a new version, your previous data has immediately become invalid. So
Yeah.
you delete this again.
It might actually be reasonable to keep the current stack for longer than we would normally do, so that we can get a bit more. Yeah, we can
What,
get.
because you're worried that nobody's testing P? Or?
No. But among us, I mean, we're all going to be running 12.10 if we're not already. And
Yeah,
so
like
if
I'm
we're running the same X stack,
then it's easier to test and verify and work on.
and also if we up the X stack right now, like we usually have, then all the bug reports filed between now and October are not really going to be that useful because we're going to be updating the stack again down the road.
So we're saying by not doing it, they'll be at least useful for P, even though they're not useful for Q.
Yeah. I guess what we missed there is things that are useful for upstream. So by not updating now,
But
potentially
we
there are
already-
more bugs when we update later.
Maybe.
So it's a question of, I mean, that aspect is a question of how involved or how much effort
No,
you
but
want
we
to put
already have,
into
like-
forwarding bugs.
We already have like the XOR crack BPA, so if people want to help out with upstream, they already can, because it's pretty trivial to install. You just have to grab a PPA, install it, and make the updates.
A lot of us, though, outside your team, probably test everything that's in the developer release because that's the crap we're going to ship.
Yeah.
So we don't want to be running, Unity next month's weirdness, and we don't want to be running X weirdness because we want to be running that combination together. Now, by not putting it in the archive, you're making it a different combination that you're not testing any combination you're going to ship.
But what we're saying is we're not going to get the combination we're going to ship until
Yes.
like October.
So it might
That's
as
true,
well-
but we're not going to get our kernel until the day before release, but we're still going to put something in the archive. I don't know, by that standard, we should all wait until 1 week before release and we should all upload and hope it's all going to work together. That actually isn't a tenable position to take. I mean, I can see why you want to do it, but if we all did that, there would be nothing in the archive till October. And then we'd all put it in and smoke for 4 hours.
I think the waiting till October bit is too far,
Right,
but
right.
but more like uploading new X in like next month or something would be
Sensible.
like a little bit more time with the current stack and then upload, and then we can upload again later because this time we won't break everyone's system.
Haven't we already invalidated your testing by completely changing the kernel you've got?
No, the
Because we're
kernel
not
isn't a
combination
big
of these.
requirement. It's mostly stable.
The kernel's mostly stable. You see
Well-
the amount of stuff that's changed in GPU/star?
I would say that there's a chunk of stuff which is
that's
very
not
critical
our
in that
problem.
organization. It is our problem.
Yeah,
It is, but not.
It is your problem when it doesn't work.
Yeah, but only
there is a bunch of stuff that's
Because we
not
can just say, well, they haven't
actually
upgraded X, so
kernel.
it can't be our fault.
There is a bunch of stuff that is actually legitimately kernel independent.
Right.
That,
I mean, will us moving forward aggressively, because we're already running 3-4 pre-releases in Quetzal, is that going to affect you?
No,
As in,
please do
we'll
so.
be incompatibly.
No, do. If you are incompatibly thing, we get to stream it upstream very, very loudly.
Oh, that's
and
good.
they will then sort of, their ears will bleed and they will
Actually,
cry and...
Actually, I just realized for Nouveau, it might actually help if we just at least move forward to the new drivers because of the new API that has landed. If we do that in
The API, the libdrm API has changed, but not the kernel API. They've just declared 0.16.
Yeah, but I mean,
0.16 as 1.0.
Oh, that's
Yes, but I mean, that could be really useful to already then update those parts and have some preliminary testing. Even though some bugs might be valid data, it's already a big change. So it might be worth it to just ship those parts and then get like.
So we can easily update libdrm and Nouveau.
when do we realistically get any serious testing in the first place? Is it Alpha 1 onwards? I mean,
Yeah. Well, I should say the bug reports start beforehand.
there was talk of there being no milestones this cycle to confuse everyone.
Oh, really?
That session has, well, at least I don't think that session's good.
It's a rolling release, baby.
Well, it's a rolling release with no deadline, so I don't know how you know when the release is supposed to start working. Because it doesn't start working.
It seems like Alpha 2 is about when you start getting like,
Serious.
okay.
Well, I mean,
serious.
internally,
Yeah.
it's pretty much a job requirement to be an Alpha 1.
It works on my PC.
Yes.
But, I mean, certainly I don't usually update the machines I care about, the ones I use, until at least Alpha 2. But I do update all my other crap usually.
You know, it's ironic because early in the release things aren't that bad. It's
because nobody's updated it.
right. It's just the dev cutscenes.
Well, that's right. That's why right now you can't install it because it's not even installable. It's just making the world a painful place.
So this is roughly what happens with bugs.
What does that even mean? That just looks like crack smoking.
That's the work queue. So that's specifically untriaged bugs. So you can see basically what our capacity for bug triaging. You can see what our capacity for bug triaging is, and then at this point we exceeded.
And you can see the effect it has on you because now you don't care.
No, that's not true because every one of those spikes that you see where it comes down is us carrying.
Is that true?
Yeah.
You care about once a week.
We did about for
So it takes you 5 days to get over
I
it.
did try once a week to go through and
You did a good
triage
job.
as much as I could.
It is really weird.
What were you wanting to see?
Plug in.
Oh,
We want it
Yeah.
shiny.
Perfect.
that's probably a good idea.
It's here.
This looks like HDMI.
There's one of the.
There's one of each.
right beside you.
You can have whichever you have.
We always
Don't
go,
expect the HDMI one to work.
We always go with the one that we
Oh,
don't expect.
It's okay.
Expect to get inconsistent results depending which one you use.
I think it's on standby.
Okay, I'll unplug that and plug in the VGA.
See?
No, it's
Inconsistent
not
results.
turned on yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm turning it on right now.
It should come straight on.
Oh, where is my
No,
VGA
it's
port?
not.
Oh, it's around there.
Yeah, try the HDMI again just for fun.
Okay, let's see if
If you keep pushing it in and out, it's bound to crash.
Okay, it's on. Now we actually, yes.
Does HDMI not have
Hot plug?
hole
Yeah.
detect?
What's that?
Hole detect. Thing thrust in my hole.
Yeah, it
should.
does, which is why that's just worked.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I plugged it in and it's banned.
That is how it works.
I don't.
Yeah, so yes, here is our,
Hope you can do that.
here is the precise work queue.
It unfortunately broke a week ago, and I'm still working on trying to get it fixed. So that's why we're missing about a week's of data. The last data point is.
When you put them in, just make them horizontal for that period. This pity always leaves a gap, which makes the map thing really difficult to read on the work items.
No.
So
Yeah.
where are the alphas?
Where are the alphas?
Probably.
There are dates. When were the various?
I'll bet you Alpha 2 is right What is that?
When it
201?
explodes.
I bet that's Alpha 2.
Yeah.
And then it starts.
Because you were doing a lot of triaging.
No, just not many people running.
And that big blob at the beginning is me actually pulling bugs from the previous release.
Oh, you pull it forward.
Yeah, ones that I know are going to be relevant.
February 2nd.
Oh, we want to work on.
February 2nd?
Yeah.
Ding! Alpha 2.
Yeah, so you were,
Right there.
you were triaging like mad because you were expecting flames. So Alpha 2 is obviously when we start installing it.
Yeah, Alpha 2 is clearly when the bugs start.
It's interesting that Alpha 1 just doesn't do anything. There's no difference between, I mean, there's a dip because you clearly cared and worried and looked, but actually the people running it were still the same people because you didn't really have any more bugs than you had before. So Alpha 1 is a waste of time, clearly.
Yes, that's just called Alpha 2 directly.
Yeah, call it Alpha 6. And 5 behind. P.S. If you weren't running Alpha 2, you're fired, but we haven't got one.
No, if you weren't running Alpha 1, you're fired.
I tried saying that. We still have employees, it's pretty confusing. We should have had about 2.
No, I'm still running Precise at the moment.
He's fired.
As am I.
As long as
But
you're running on
I
your
have to
phone,
work-
then
I have
you're
to work
allowed.
on the Precise. So I have a reason to.
So now, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, where were we? Oh yeah, version updates.
So we were saying that it doesn't matter when you update it as long as it's before Alpha 2, I believe.
Yeah,
Because that's
pretty
when the
much.
testers come.
That seems to be the case.
Yes.
So what do you think about, assuming we have milestones out after Alpha 1, the second is about a month?
Weren't they 2 weeks apart, actually? Was it really weird?
So Alpha 1 is June 7th, Alpha 2 is June 28th.
Right, so it's about
3 weeks.
2 weeks or
3
3
weeks.
weeks apart. But that's also doing June when nobody does any work, so they're on holiday.
Perfect.
I've been working too.
No, apart from the Southern Hemisphere guys.
Oh, because it's
They're not
snowing.
on.
You're not allowed out.
We're not so much
And you haven't
snowing
got-
as cold. and
Cold,
dark.
you mean it's 28 degrees C or something?
No,
That
I
kind of
mean
cold.
it's like 10
27.
degrees C.
20 degrees C. Right. Okay, so our summer then.
No, it's winter. It's cold.
How's that time frame sound?
When are the releases? Upstream releases, actually.
Well,
So,
Intel's is in October.
Yeah, so
and they'll have another one. Oh no,
February.
it's yeah. Sorry, it's not quarterly. They just have the Q1 and Q3 releases.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then usually all the other bits and pieces kind of
Come from.
they come about the time that we release, which is too late for us. But
Right.
So yeah, when we don't really have any idea when Xserve is going to be released, do we?
Keith's at the beginning of September at Costco.
Okay.
Beginning of
Shall we
September
take
for
that
the
one?
server.
No, it's too late.
Like I guess it depends on what's in
Probably not much useful.
it. Yeah. So I guess it depends on either there's not much very interesting in there, or it lands driver model V3, and we don't want it anyway because
Yeah.
that's going to be
Breaking
that's
all
going
the
to be
video
madness.
crap.
And you're saying that's either too late or it's too scary. Either way, you don't want it.
Like we might like there probably is a midpoint if it's got enough interesting stuff and it comes in September that we want to update it, but doesn't have the big scary rework the entire driver API. That landing in September is probably a little bit late
Yeah.
to hit.
But I think we don't really need anything from X, so if someone else tells us we specifically need an X version, we might do it, but I don't think there's anything we need, because all the graphic stuff, they can work on the older X version. You don't need a new X version per se.
I'd kind of like to get, like, Xfix's V6 should be in 1.13, because I need to finish replying to Watt's reviews, but that should be upstream in 113. I think it'd be kind of nice to actually have a release version there.
Yeah,
And I guess there'll be continual input fixes.
but I mean, they're probably more, not necessarily in the core, but it could also just be the drivers.
There'll be a bunch of input fixes in the core.
Okay.
Like that's.
Yeah, but we need.
Yeah, like well, Chase is still pushing fixes into core, so.
It's pretty. I think we can guess what Chase's position would be. We should ship the latest.
The absolute latest possible that we feasibly manage. Yeah. Yeah. Like it. So I guess maybe my position might be that we should ship 113 if it's out in September and doesn't contain crazy, like because we'll then
If it doesn't break NVIDIA drivers or ATI drivers.
Yes, sorry, there's always that.
Oh.
Sometimes I like to forget about NVIDIA.
You actually did. I just reminded you.
Well, FKiller X is the one that usually bites us.
Yeah.
But do we also have some considerations given that we want to backport this stack? Are we like more concerned than usual about last minute?
Bear in mind, you're not
releases?
likely to have consumption of that for at least 3 months after.
Right. So, but that implies that we're going to be spending 3 months backporting fixes and stabilizing.
But so I guess the nice thing about 3 months backporting fixes and stabilizing from the most recent version is that upstream will do a lot of there'll be more opportunity to just pick what upstream has already done rather than
Right, but will we be able to get that through SRU? Because we won't necessarily have bug numbers attached to it.
we should probably.
Because I mean, even now, there's patches we know are good patches that are fixes, but we don't have Launchpad bugs reproducing them. The problem.
We could try doing something like the kernel does. Like you pull in stable regardless of whether there's specific bugs in stable.
Right. We assume that upstream know what they're doing.
Yes.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
While
reality
perhaps we
demonstrates
shouldn't
that.
assume that Xorg upstream is quite as rigorous as the kernel. It's pretty.
I wouldn't even say the kernel's very rigorous.
It's-
We rely on testing it quite heavily, and
You still,
we should be doing more of
you
that.
still
for
get
us.
like fixes from people like me who try to run it on their machine and they're like, no, you have this crazy USB controller that doesn't work right if you just send these commands. So here's a command that overrides it, then I send it in, it still gets accepted. So they don't always have to test it per se.
Maybe like
Could you do what we do and build them and publish them? And we build and publish upstream stable commits.
We already have.
Oh, you s-
Edges is not quite the same thing though. Like we could have a track stable releases PPA,
Right.
which might be more.
Useful to us.
Yeah, well, would be useful for that particular purpose.
when we find them really useful for debugging because you can do very early bisection using them without having to do stuff.
Faff around actually building kernels.
Exactly.
Well, and for that model to work, we would need to be able to have each point release.
You need to keep them as well.
Right. And whereas our PPA is only letting us keep.
One.
Which is why we don't keep them in a PPA,
Right.
despite them complaining we should. We did
Well, I
suggest
don't-
creating a PPA for every single one they screened.
I think we have too many devs to really be able to do what you guys do.
Really? I mean, it's a computer, it makes stuff. Okay. Oh,
Well, I guess
So like we have interdependencies.
I see
Like
what you're saying.
so you update to
Yeah.
1.12 and you need a new driver stack.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
That's not something that's particularly friendly to do
We
without
need a
apps.
mimic, a better mimic PPA that you would actually put into your sources.
No,
I guess we could probably do a PPA per stable release. Like
That's
the
true.
1.12 PPA, the 1.13 PPA, the 1.14
And then just let those go 3, 4, 5, dot 3, dot 4, dot 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be at least you'd have some level of something. Especially now you have PPA purging.
Good notes, that's a good idea.
What's that?
Oh, PPA per point release. Okay.
I'm going to make that an action. It's only going to start to consider that.
Where were we?
Still, I think at versions. So that's X server. There's no reason not to do the same thing that we do every time for API and Nouveau.
Which is
pick git at about the time we freeze and call that good, because it generally is.
Yes, there's like
Well, if we can sync
only
that,
fix it
that would be
mostly in the Nouveau tree because nobody really wants to break it. That's it.
Yeah. And libdrm, I guess we need to get over the Nouveau API bump, but after that, it's just going to be business as usual.
Pretty much.
Oh, one other thing that we talked about doing this cycle with the X server is to aggressively drop some of the patches that we think are no longer needed.
That would be excellent. Yes. Let's do that.
And we can do that independently of the X server update. So we could even think about doing that, within the next month or so.
Yeah.
I think that sounds like an action too. So
Yes.
is that review?
No, I think that's
Essentially the Ubuntu Delta, right?
Yes, that is review Ubuntu Delta essentially.
On the X server, or is it on everything?
On the X
X
server,
server.
because the X server is the only one that has significant
Roughed.
Yeah. So much craft.
Should there be an action for me to get commit to get the code so that I can push the make?
Well,
yeah, that'll
you'll
take
have
some
that
time.
on your own to-do list.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
a
but
special.
we do need to get him access to the Git repositories.
Oh, the Debian Git.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, you will want that.
That's probably not an action. What happened about Mesa?
We might want to go through the Mesa Delta as well, but I think there's less craziness in that.
Yeah, I think most of what we have, most of what I've put in there have been cherry picks. So we can just drop those whenever.
There are a bunch of like 100 star ones which we've carried for ages and are just kind of there because I think
That doesn't sound good.
Well, with some of the early
wrong slide.
plugins, unification, and Unity, and so on and so forth, they gave us a bunch of patches that were must-have, or a few patches, I should say. I don't remember offhand what all is in there, but
We actually have a session for our kernel patches here to look at the Delta and remember why it's in there. What is that?
We might actually. Oh no, we've dropped a whole bunch, haven't we? Yeah.
Yeah.
Export search dirs, dynamic linking,
Is this
shared value
into
core.
like-
Yeah, we actually have no significant delta there.
okay.
I'll put done on that one. for you.
Yeah, that one's totally.
Yeah,
We've
Okay.
yeah because we
Yeah.
inherit that from Debian. No API tag, GL name.
Oh, so the Debian ones do have 2 digits.
S3.
now.
Yeah, the Debian ones are 2 digits. We started 100.
Okay, FreeBSD.
Do you share Gallium Core or that one doesn't matter much?
Actually,
Third.
Gallium Core I think got merged upstream maybe.
Yeah, it does.
But then it should disappear, sure.
It should, yes.
I mean, as it won't apply, explode.
It will explode if it gets accepted upstream. DRI core got accepted upstream. I can't quite remember if Gallium Core did as well.
When we clean up the X server patches, let's renumber them too. Russell put those
Okay.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Start at 100 again.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're halfway to 4 digits, so that's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
And actually, while we're on the X server patches, we need to do something with the apport integration patch. We need to, like that, we desperately, we need a work item for someone to get that working reliably 100%.
Yeah.
However,
I think we should also take a good look at the SUSE patch for there, because they have a nice, they actually, have you looked at that? They actually capture the full stack trace into the Xorg log.
They call out to
Right.
call out to GDB.
Right.
That's kind of nice. I think I'd actually prefer. And I think we could
take
get
a look
both.
at it.
Yeah, I'd prefer apport to get the full, to get the core done.
Yeah, me too. I need to get
Yeah,
out
but
more
it has a
service
lot of
out of it.
information. For example, you can read the stack. And the
Yeah.
stack is pretty nice to read because sometimes it's corrupted and then you can find the bug. Let's see if it's that.
Yeah, like the having the backtrace in it, the full back. I think the patch that got that merged is I think that significantly merged upstream. Like that certainly was. Yeah.
Well, see, that's my thinking, is that if whatever approach that we do, if it can be upstream, then it's going to be a lot easier on us in the future. Because, I mean, we have that Xserver crash bug that, is that just because of the stack trace logic? So if we can get that stuff upstream, we'll be able to stabilize that better.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I suspect that our patch is not something that they would want, but maybe if the SUSE
We
patch is
probably
similar enough.
could. I don't think the SUSE patch will work because at that point X hasn't crashed, and what we actually want is to pipe the core through the kernel to apport. I think we could probably make actually dump core a reasonably supported option. There's already an option to dump core, but that doesn't, if I remember correctly, that doesn't go through the DDX cleanup. So it dumps core and screws with your terminals, so it will no longer. So you need to actually restart in order to use it. So making that, I guess, making that work in such a way that X can both dump core and then respawn cleanly would be enough.
Once it dumps core, you can just force it to exit and then the display manager will see it and it starts automatically.
Not if it hasn't done the DDX cleanup, because if it hasn't done the DDX cleanup, then it's left the console in a stupid state and it won't start up.
So you want to fork and let the original dump core?
Yes, you want it to, yeah. You
And
want
then
it.
do DDX
You want it to dump core, yeah. Ideally, you want it to dump core and then do the DDX cleanup. I would be happy to have it crash, catch that crash, do the DDX cleanup, and then dump core, because you just add an extra tiny bit to the top of the stack trace in that case. And the top of the stack trace is then known, so we can get whoopsie to ignore that,
right,
because it's always the same height.
Right.
There was also a work item for the corruption bug, but I think the mostly depends on Chase right now.
That's really just a bug rather than
It's
a
not really a work item.
Yeah.
You can always link the bug to.
Yeah,
Always causes chaos.
Well, that's an action. To link
Link
the bug to
bugs,
the
blueprints.
blueprint. Key bugs. And
Yeah.
I can take that out. So Chris, is that something that you want, you could look into
I
doing?
think, yeah, I could look into doing that.
Okay.
because I should also review Chase's signal state logging patch, logging series, and that will be kind of tied up with, like, that's a similar sort of area. That should actually go in, because it would be nice to not randomly corrupt memory when logging from SIG.io.
But that's already going to be upstream, right?
That is. I should review it so that it can actually land upstream.
Yeah.
Like, it's currently sitting on the lists waiting for people to review it.
Ah, like that.
Yeah. I don't think it's on anyone's radar to pull in. So that can be a work item if. Like,
yeah, also nice because it's for Valgrind, so it doesn't choke as much.
yeah, like it stops Valgrind from segfaulting if you try and Valgrind the server. It prevents
I just
memory corruption.
backported the patch and then I ran it on my laptop so I could just run Valgrind and immediately found the input bug.
Yeah.
Because it was like, yeah, suddenly there's this weird value that underflows.
Yes. Oh man. You know what would be nice? If the threaded input thing could actually be fixed up and landed, but that
X threaded, it's still single threaded, right?
yeah, like someone from I think it was Tiago from Nokia was doing a bunch of patches to remove the SIG.io handler and replace it with a dedicated input thread, which would be fantastic because then you can actually do things like allocate memory in the input path and not deadlock when you do that. Which, like, because oh my god, the amount of stuff that gets called from the SIG.io handler now is
crazy.
Yeah, like we call into the NVIDIA binary driver in the SIG.io handler.
But that's going to break NVIDIA driver so hard then.
What
if we're going to change that stuff around?
Oh, like this would need to be pushed. This would need to be pushed through upstream. Like there is no way we would carry a patch to do that.
But I mean, that's going to break NVIDIA so hard, so I don't know if it would be for this release cycle or not.
Oh yeah, I'm not even really contemplating doing any work on it this release cycle. I'm just kind of.
No, I mean,
should anyone feel the?
No, I mean you should do this release cycle, but the work should go upstream and not until the next release cycle.
Yeah,
that's what I mean. Because otherwise,
should anyone feel the need to do some X hacking, like replacing the SIG.io handler with a thread? Please do that. Make that happen. Signals suck. So much breaks in the server because because it's in no way obvious that you're doing something from a signal handler.
True.
Because
and not many people know what a signal context is.
Yeah. Like we have such a deep call stack in the SIG.io handler and it goes everywhere and it is scary.
Yeah, I was like, first look at it, is it a bug? It's used in SIG.io or not? No.
We should just delete SIG.io from the kernel, that'll fix that.
What other topics do we have in the blueprint?
Maybe we should remove graphics support as well for that.
Yeah, we're getting quite time already.
Topics are, yeah, we're pretty close. I think we've covered rework signals, I think we've covered pretty much everything except for requirements from other teams. Are there any other teams who are here and need things from the X server that they don't currently provide?
Anyone on IC? No. So I guess we need nothing.
Yeah.
We just ship the current version again.
We're done. Don't change a thing.
Yeah. Now is the time to do it, not coming up to me later in UDS and saying I'd like to do something interesting.
Yeah, but
now would be a good time to raise this.
Yes. But let's go to Bahamas after this because we obviously have no work for next session.
No, you just get to work upstream from us.
Oh yeah, I could totally get working on my PP5 patches again, like PD power stuff, because I started disassembling it. So it turns out to be easier than VP4. So.
Well, to come back around to the SRU stuff, I would like for the three of us to really focus on doing SRUs for precise affects things.
Okay. Yep.
It sounds like you have a bit of time if you're going to update.
Yeah,
Q
that's what I'm thinking.
Hmm.
So if we can, he'll be doing it all the time, but maybe if you and I help him get going and push through a bunch
that's
of
really
things where we
helpful.
can,
Yeah.
help him get up to speed and get some fixes through.
Yep. That sounds. Do that. Ace.
Still nothing nice here. No commodities here. No.
Chase was the one you needed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's just go.
No, Chase will basically say, yeah, 1.13. That's what we're after.
Well, since we have a few more minutes, let's kick around some of the topics that we always kick around, like Wayland and USB monitors and hybrid graphics.
We've got USB monitors, an actual session for it up to next.
Okay, so never mind that.
Hybrid graphics, you've got something for that.
Well, yeah. But
There's a session.
I totally need a
Yeah.
MacBook Pro or something for that.
what about the driver model 3 at all?
Oh, is that?
So yeah.
That's
that-
about right.
yeah.
Driver Model 3 stuff.
But
Cool.
so it would, yeah. So
So,
OEM would really like to have hybrid graphics support. But
I'm shocked, I say.
yeah, but yeah, I'm
don't say.
skeptical about it actually hitting 1.13. So maybe we should also, if Dave actually proposes it, then maybe we need to think about what to do with 1.13.
Right.
Yeah.
Is that 3.0 or something?
I mean the new driver.
The new driver model whereby you can actually drive two
Hard to
displays sensibly from an X server. Two GPUs sensibly from an X server. Because all of the kernel work's pretty much done, and now it's just that just that X really believes that one display is driven by one GPU,
Right.
and untangling that requires that you.
So when you say the kernel work is all done, is that
Will
DMA
Dave's
buff is
tree
in
or
3.4 if I remember.
3.5.
It'll be in 3.5.
Yeah.
Everything will be in
Rest-
3.5?
The missing bits will be included.
I think
We're
there's-
likely as anything to be on. There's a strong risk it will be on 3.5.
Yeah. So I think a bunch of it is already in 3.4.
Yeah.
And the remaining bits may well
Yeah.
be in 3.5.
You never know, we might be on 3.6, but
Yeah.
you should assume we won't be on 3.5 just in case.
And so having the low-hanging fruit as much as possible for control would make it easier to test the crazy stuff on a PPA. So yeah, it would be great to have whatever we can.
I guess maybe the final thing is what is our policy on proprietary drivers and in the proprietary drivers in the development release? Are we this time not going to upload an X server until we have FGRX
You know,
and
I
NVIDIA?
personally feel that we have
FGRX
to.
might take too long.
That
We certainly need to try and keep at least NVIDIA working because
Yes,
all of the
NVIDIA
people in
should
design
have
seem to have that.
FGRX.
Yeah, I think we've
However-
passed the days when we can.
However, we may have already
Yeah.
broken all that because we've uploaded a kernel without you.
I think like,
we can upload 1.12 and have NVIDIA.
but I mean like the R600 drives are pretty nice nowadays for most people.
New volume is pretty reasonable for most.
Is that something?
Yeah, but it's missing reclocking, so you're stuck on boost speed and you can even drive 2 monitors without having to worry about memory bandwidth.
Jay, can you chime in on this? The question is,
If we break NVIDIA, how much do you scream at us?
yes.
Yes.
Okay.
How
And
much?
same-
Now, would it be acceptable to our ears or not?
And FGLRX, would you scream as much?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who are using?
So there we go.
Because we've got a thing where the installer is encouraging you strongly to be using binary NVIDIA drivers, right?
Yeah, actually we should probably ask them
Change
to turn off, yeah.
Because we don't want that to be an ongoing thing because it used to be true in 15 releases ago thing.
No, but if you still have like new hardware, like Kepler,
Yeah, but
you still want it.
But it's about the default.
Yeah,
It's not
but
about
you still.
What's
then you
nice?
need to start
Perhaps what we
detecting
actually
things.
want is we want that we want that checkbox to install binary drivers if and only if the open drivers by default won't drive it properly.
Right.
So if we know that the proprietary driver will drive it and the open driver won't, that checkbox should install it. If we know that the open driver will drive it and it's
then
not
it should be
NVIDIA,
jockey
then it should, like certainly for ATI because they have because the open driver is really quite good. We should not be
No, but it could also
aggressively
be that.
pushing towards
I agree with
so
you.
much.
But I also know that that's not what they're doing, and so
Yeah,
we
I
should
know,
find out
we
who's
should.
doing that, where they're discussing it,
Yeah.
and get them to
And
change it.
yeah, how we can
I think that's
Yes,
going to be a
that
bigger
should be on the
discussion.
work item list.
Is TSA at least?
Is he what?
Is he here?
No.
Yeah, that actually probably that should be
I think I see.
that should be a work item.
Yes. Oh yeah. Are you going to put that in? Good.
Also, speaking of proprietary drivers, is there any packaging work that we want to do this cycle or encourage Alberto to do?
Actually, yeah, I sent an email about dropping the old NVIDIA API updates packages. No, updates packages. Those
Yeah,
are
I completely agree.
like pointless.
Yeah, it just causes security team work. We didn't get any feedback though beyond that.
We should probably actually work out an SIU process whereby, like, we should probably get an SIU exception for updates to just push them through. Like, not require any bugs, not just like, if people have deliberately opted into updates, we should push an
Don't we have that
update.
already?
No. Updates sits in proposed waiting for people to confirm. We should not do that.
Also,
NVIDIA.
For NVIDIA, yeah. And
Yeah, I completely agree.
There's a post-release update package which is virtually useless because it never makes it out of proposed.
Oh, it's
I completely agree. Also, and I should suggest this to Alberto, but during the development release, we don't actually use the updates. We just keep it in sync, hopefully.
Yeah.
And so I thought maybe we could use that. Like when a new version comes out, just put it into updates for a week or two before putting it in case there are regressions. You know, then at least gives people the option of being able to toggle between them.
Oh, I see. So you upload it as updates and then upload it normally.
Yeah, yeah, or vice versa, or whatever. I don't know. But make use of the fact that we have two packages.
We should have on our checklist whether GeoX and NVIDIA work is actually. I don't think we have that on our checklist.
Is Alberto still responsible for that drivers?
Yeah.
In relationship.
Yes.
I was gonna say, where are we out there?
So is there any other packaging work that we might want to think about for the proprietary drivers?
I think the packaging pretty much works now.
Maybe a review of how robust it is.
It's like
It's been years since I've touched them, so but I still see bugs about uninstalling or something going.
Yeah, we get a lot. We do get a smattering of bugs about weird kind of things like when they reinstall or upgrade or install, kind of weird things happen. I've tried diagnosing them by going through the packaging scripts, but they're big
the
scripts.
scripts are pretty big, yeah.
So kind of health check.
Yeah.
Health application.
Yeah. That sounds good.
Yeah.
Who gets that?
I got it.
Okay.
So are there any other topics related to X that should be on our kick around list for the future? Like, are there new technologies or things coming that we need to start thinking about?
Well, obviously there's obviously the desktop compositor session. System compositor session. That will have an impact, but I think we can keep all of I think that can just be discussed in there.
When is that?
That's a good question. When is
I
that?
haven't seen that.
it is.
must be
Look
stealth.
look at the desktop track, because it's in the desktop track and it's easier to find there.
I think it's tomorrow.
Yeah.
Until the rescheduler resends it.
Yeah.
I'm told they fixed that.
Oh yeah, they always say.
Yeah. Apart
System
from that, is there anything?
Wednesday at 10. It's Wednesday at 9. Is it Tuesday? At 10.
So I think that I think that contains most of the futuristic stuff. And once that's done, then we can do a bunch of other stuff. Like that will make running X as an unprivileged user. That will probably imply running X as an unprivileged user. Like that will be, it will be easier to make that work than to not make it work. Once that's in. Yes. And apart from that, USB video, we've already got a session for. Multi-seat, we're missing the session for that right now.
No, that's for tomorrow.
Multi-seat?
No.
No.
Right now.
Really?
Okay. What's already?
I heard it's scheduled for tomorrow.
Oh, really?
To be there, won't you?
Oh!
They whooped it again.
Session management and multi-seat, right there.
And you are here right now.
And we are here.
Oh no, I'm thinking multi-hand.
Okay, right. Yeah. I guess maybe, like there was that X-random protocol extension that we've been
I'm
kicking
still
around.
working on that. Took a break for it for a while to work bugs, but
Yep. I need to review your patches, yes. Maybe, yes, work item.
I think you already have a work item in the. Oh, we should go through the work items from last.
Last UDS?
Last UDS. Before the roller ones. I can do that.
Okay. Yeah.
And that will include the one for you to review.
Yeah.
He's going on to the next group. But I can't quite hear.
I think it's the cloud conference, I think.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why there's a cloud conference. There we go.
Cloud is very important.
Yes.
How about testing issues?
So integration tests for X will be are going upstream now. XOR G-test is rather nice, and should we find core X bugs, we should probably be writing tests to expose them now. Like it's now very easy to get a server and start doing stuff. That will obviously be less interesting that won't be interesting for drivers, our target input drivers. Much more difficult for video drivers.
I've been running pictures.
You know what we could,
What?
actually, that's something that we could probably do. Actually, getting drivers, like we could. It's not so. The system compositor work will imply getting support for running unit tests against actual hardware drivers. But that can go. We have a hardware lab.
Really nice. Get a good set.
That will be kind of interesting, but probably out of scope or this cycle.
So you're going to be running the integration tests as part of builds? Or
Yes,
separate?
we'll be running the integration tests as part of builds. Actually, the package currently in the archive has all of that hooked up, except for the build depends. So once we add the build depends on XOR G-test, the integration tests will turn on the build Ds. yeah, it will be.
How long will it have?
What's that?
How much longer will the build take?
Not very long. Like we currently have 18 tests.
Oh, so it's not going to take too long.
No.
It's still a good idea. Even if it does take long, it's still.
Yeah, we don't have very many. Well, sorry, I have 18 tests. 16 have been sent upstream, and I'll write some more when I submit the X fixes stuff. Where is our next? USB videos, ballroom H, downstairs. Oh no, just across the hall.
Which is good because it's 3 minutes from now.
Yes, let us wander off.